You use it to fry your eggs in the morning, it's inside your favorite snack, it's in the salad dressing you think is healthy, and it's been sitting in your kitchen cabinet for years, completely unquestioned. Seed oils are everywhere, and most people have no idea what they actually are, how they're made, or what they might be doing to your body over time. By the end of this video, you'll never look at a bottle of cooking oil the same way again. Welcome to Health Explained. Let's start with the basics. What exactly are seed oils? Seed oils are oils extracted from the seeds of plants, not the fruit, not the flesh, but the seed itself. The most common ones you'll find in supermarkets are sunflower oil, soybean oil, canola oil, corn oil, cottonseed oil, safflower oil, and rapeseed oil. These oils dominate the modern food supply. They're in virtually every ultra-processed food you can find: chips, crackers, cookies, frozen meals, sauces, margarine, and fast food. Walk into any supermarket and pick up a random packaged product. Chances are one of these oils is in the top 3 ingredients. But here's the thing, seed oils are not a traditional food. Humans did not cook with sunflower or soybean oil for thousands of years. These oils only became widespread in the 20th century, largely because they were cheap to produce and easy to scale. Before that, people cooked with animal fats like lard, tallow, and butter, or with fruit-based oils like olive oil and coconut oil, which have been used for thousands of years. So how are seed oils actually made? Because this part is important, and most people have no idea. Take canola oil as an example. First, the seeds are cleaned and dehulled, then they're heated to very high temperatures to start breaking them down. After that, a chemical solvent called hexane is used to extract as much oil as possible from the seeds. Hexane is a petroleum-derived chemical, the same type used in industrial cleaning and glue manufacturing. After the hexane extraction, the oil goes through degumming, where phospholipids are removed. Then it's refined with sodium hydroxide, also known as caustic soda. Then it's bleached to remove the dark color that naturally occurs from the process. And finally, because the oil at this point smells absolutely terrible due to oxidation during processing, it's deodorized at extremely high temperatures to make it smell neutral. What you get at the end is a highly refined, industrially processed product that barely resembles anything found in nature. And yet, this is what millions of people pour into their pans every single day, assuming it's just normal cooking oil. Now let's talk about the chemistry, because this is where things get really interesting. Seed oils are extremely high in a type of fat called polyunsaturated fatty acids, or PUFAs. Specifically, they're very high in omega-6 fatty acids, particularly one called linoleic acid. Now, omega-6 is not inherently bad. Your body needs some of it. The problem is the ratio. Historically, humans consumed omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids in a ratio of roughly 1:1, maybe 4:1 at most. Today, in a typical Western diet, that ratio is closer to 20:1 or even higher, and seed oils are one of the primary reasons why. When you have too much omega-6 relative to omega-3, your body's inflammatory response gets thrown off balance. Omega-6 fatty acids are precursors to pro-inflammatory molecules in your body. When they're consumed in excess, they can drive a state of chronic low-grade inflammation. And chronic inflammation is not a minor issue. It is considered a root cause or a major contributing factor to some of the most serious diseases of our time: cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, autoimmune conditions, and even depression and anxiety. But inflammation is just one part of the story. There's another major problem with seed oils, and it has to do with how unstable they are. Polyunsaturated fats are chemically fragile. They have multiple double bonds in their structure, which makes them highly reactive, especially when exposed to heat, light, or oxygen. When you heat seed oils to cooking temperatures, they oxidize, and when they oxidize, they produce a range of harmful compounds, including aldehydes, lipid peroxides, and other toxic byproducts. One class of compounds in particular, called 4-hydroxynonenal, or 4-HNE, has been studied extensively and linked to inflammation, DNA damage, and neurodegenerative diseases. Here's what makes this even more concerning. Restaurants and fast food chains often reuse the same oil for frying multiple times throughout the day. Every time the oil is heated, more toxic compounds accumulate. That oil you're eating your fries cooked in? It may have been sitting in a fryer, being heated and reheated for hours or even days. Now, what does the research actually say? In the 1960s, the diet heart hypothesis became mainstream, the idea that saturated fat caused heart disease. This led health authorities to recommend replacing butter, lard, and animal fats with vegetable oils. But decades later, the evidence doesn't fully support that recommendation. A landmark study published in the British Medical Journal found that replacing saturated fat with vegetable oil rich in linoleic acid did reduce cholesterol, but it actually increased the risk of death. Participants who lowered their cholesterol the most had the highest mortality rates. So what should you cook with instead? The key is to choose fats that are stable at cooking temperatures. Extra virgin olive oil is predominantly monounsaturated and packed with antioxidants, ideal for low to medium heat cooking. Coconut oil is highly saturated, making it very stable even at higher temperatures. Butter and ghee from grass-fed animals are rich in fat-soluble vitamins and very stable for cooking. Avocado oil has a very high smoke point, making it one of the best options for high-heat cooking. Here's the bottom line. Seed oils are not going to kill you instantly, but the evidence suggests that consuming them in the quantities that most people do today is not good for long-term health. Start by reading ingredient labels on the processed foods you buy. If sunflower oil, soybean oil, canola oil, or corn oil appear near the top of the list, consider swapping it. Small changes made consistently over time are how you actually improve your health. That's what this channel is about. If you found this video useful, hit subscribe, because every week on Health Explained, we take the science of nutrition and break it down so you can make smarter decisions for your body.